Ever thought about what really goes into your food before it ends up on your plate? Let's take a moment to ponder that. You see, our food undergoes a journey before it reaches our plates, and a significant part of that journey involves battling the forces of nature, like pests and diseases. Enter pesticides, the invisible soldiers in this battle. Pesticides are used extensively in food production worldwide to protect crops from pests, fungi, and diseases. Now, these pesticides are designed to kill, and they do their job well. But here's the catch. They're not very discerning. Sure, they eliminate the bugs and the blights, but at what cost? The reality is, these chemical warriors can also harm humans and the environment. We consume these pesticides indirectly when we eat the produce sprayed with them, and over time this could lead to a myriad of health issues, from minor irritations to chronic diseases and even cancer. Not so appetizing now, is it? But it's not just about us. The environment takes a hit too. Pesticides can contaminate soil, water, and other vegetation. In addition to killing insects or weeds, pesticides can be harmful to a host of other organisms, including birds, fish, beneficial insects, and non-target plants. You might be wondering, what foods are we talking about here? Well, many of the foods we consume daily are heavily sprayed with pesticides. Apples, strawberries, grapes, celery, peaches, spinach, bell peppers, nectarines, cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, and potatoes are some of the usual suspects. Even our beloved cup of coffee isn't spared from this chemical onslaught. So the next time you're biting into that shiny apple or sipping that fragrant cup of coffee, remember, there's more than meets the eye, or in this case, the taste buds. So the question is, are we eating food, or are we eating poisons? Pesticides are toxic, and exposure to them can have adverse effects on our health. This statement may sound alarming, but it's a reality we need to confront. Pesticides are designed to kill, control, and repel pests that threaten our crops. But what happens when these chemicals find their way into our bodies? The answer is not pretty. Pesticides can have a multitude of harmful effects on human health, and these effects can be both immediate and long-term. Let's delve deeper. Pesticides have been linked to a host of neurological disorders. These include Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, ADHD, and even developmental delays in children. These chemicals can interfere with our nervous system function, impairing our memory, motor skills, and cognitive abilities. But it doesn't stop there. Pesticides are also known to be carcinogenic, meaning they can cause cancer. Studies have shown a connection between pesticide exposure and various types of cancer, including breast, prostate, lung, and colon cancer. The risk is even higher for children and pregnant women, making this an issue of critical concern. Another significant impact of pesticides is hormonal disruption. Some pesticides mimic hormones in our body, leading to imbalances that can result in reproductive health issues, metabolic disorders, and immune system suppression. And then there's the risk to our future generations. Pesticides have been associated with birth defects and developmental issues in infants. This means the choices we make today about the food we eat could potentially affect the health of our children and grandchildren. Now you might be thinking, but I only consume a tiny amount of pesticides. True, but consider this. The cumulative effect of long-term exposure to small amounts of pesticides can be just as detrimental. Over time, these chemicals can build up in our bodies, leading to chronic health issues. It's clear that the chemical cocktails we consume daily pose a significant threat to our health. So as we move forward, it's essential to be mindful of the food we eat and the potential risks we face from these unseen toxins. Our health isn't the only thing at risk. The environment suffers too. It's a chilling reality that the pesticides we use to protect our crops and gardens are also causing harm to the very world we inhabit. These chemicals, while effective in warding off pests, have a destructive side effect. They wreak havoc on our environment. Let's dive a little deeper into this. Pesticides have a disconcerting way of spreading. They don't just stay put where they're sprayed. They can contaminate the soil, poisoning the very foundation of our ecosystems. The repercussions of this are far-reaching. Soil contamination not only affects the plants that grow there, but also the microorganisms that dwell within it, disrupting the balance of our soil ecosystems. But the damage doesn't stop there. Pesticides can leach into our waterways, tainting our rivers, lakes, and even our drinking water. This can lead to a multitude of problems, from the death of aquatic life to the pollution of the water we rely on for survival. And the impact on other vegetation? It's disheartening, to say the least. Pesticides can drift from the areas they're applied to, landing on nearby plants and trees. This can lead to a domino effect of plant death and decline, changing the landscape and making it less hospitable for the wildlife that relies on these plants for food and shelter. Perhaps one of the most pressing concerns is the impact on biodiversity, including the decline of pollinators like bees. Bees play a crucial role in our food system, pollinating a significant portion of the crops we eat. But pesticides, particularly a group known as neonicotinoids, have been linked to bee colony collapse. Without these diligent pollinators, our food supply is at risk. The damage to our environment is a grim reminder of the price we pay for our pesticide dependence. We've created a vicious cycle. We use pesticides to protect our food, yet in doing so, we jeopardize the very systems that allow us to grow that food in the first place. It's a complex issue, and one we must address if we're to safeguard both our health and our planet. We've covered a lot of ground today, from our plates to our bodies and the environment. We've delved into the invisible killer lurking on our meals, the pesticides, and how they can impact our health. We've discussed how these chemicals, designed to keep pests at bay, can turn our bodies into battlegrounds, causing a range of health issues from allergies to more serious chronic diseases. We've also looked at how pesticides aren't just threatening us, but also the environment. They are disrupting ecosystems, killing off beneficial insects, contaminating water supplies, and contributing to the decline of our precious pollinators. But there's hope. It's crucial that we reduce pesticide use and champion more organic and sustainable farming methods. It's not just about eating healthier, it's about creating a healthier world. The food we eat should nourish us, not harm us. It's time to rethink our food choices and demand better for our health and our planet.